bad as it was when I first got here, it was really crazy. I think the whole I think when I first got here, they wanted to show everybody that I'm not different from anybody else.
Allegedly attacked by rapper Remy Ma is recovering in the hospital now. Is this photo today showing the damage to her left eye. Police charge Remy Ma with misdemeanor assault.
It's ugly? Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Watch.
Yeah, okay. We could test it right now. Right now. Right now, ugly. Everything. Oh, you thought you was gonna see fine ugly, bitch. You wasn't. Try to beat you up. Come downstairs. You know you in front of the courthouse trying to act like you're tough. Yeah, stop. Yeah, let's go around the corner. Let's go around the corner. Come on, let's.
Remy Ma is one of those names that always comes up when people talk about female rap legends. Her name carries weight, her story sparks debate, and her legacy stays complicated. Known as the Queen of the Bronx, Remy came from real struggle. She survived environments that break most people and still rose to become the first lady of Terror Squad. With the crew, she topped Billboard charts and earned Grammy nominations, something very few women in rap were doing at the time. But behind the praise and accolades, there is another side to her story that rarely gets highlighted, a darker side. One judge once described her as an angry young woman after she faced multiple assault cases and an attempted murder charge. Remy Ma's life was anything but calm, and the chaos started long before fame. Let's get into it. Born Reminisce Smith on May 30th, 1980, Remy Ma did not get a normal childhood. While other kids were outside playing, she was forced into adult responsibilities early. She helped raise her younger brothers and sisters because the adults around her were struggling with addiction during the crack epidemic that was tearing through New York City. She saw addiction and instability up close. Remy later admitted that in her household, abuse against women was not shocking. Black eyes were common. Stories of serious violence were whispered about and brushed off like they meant nothing. In Castle Hill, that was considered normal life. Growing up in an environment like that usually leads to one of two paths. You either become a victim or you turn yourself into a soldier. Remy made her choice early. By the time she was 13, she decided she would not let anyone walk over her. That pressure needed an outlet. Remy recorded her first song, titled Suicide. It was dark, raw, and unsettling. The lyrics focused on wanting to end her own life, showing how heavy the weight on her shoulders really was. It gave a glimpse into the mind of a gifted kid who felt trapped by poverty, violence, and responsibility that was far too heavy for her age. Long before the world would call her the First Lady of Terror Squad, law enforcement already knew her real name. The idea that Remy Ma only got into trouble after fame is inaccurate. The violence started early, back when she was still a teenager trying to survive an unforgiving system. In December 1996, a 16-year-old Reminisce Smith was living in a Bronx homeless shelter. According to police records, she was arrested after an altercation with another teenage girl named Leonora Torres. Authorities allege that Remy struck the girl in the face with an umbrella. The other girl reportedly described it as a cheap move. The message was clear. Remy was willing to get physical when she felt disrespected.
Big pun, like it wasn't a question of what it is.
Wasn't Moondog no more.
Nah, everybody knew what it was when I met him. Like they knew what it was. And he lived around the corner from my mom. I'm rapping for like 3-4 minutes straight. He like, all right, that's dope. And he looked at me dead in my face and was like, but that could be your only hot rap, so let me hear another one. So I do it again, like, all right, like this is what I do, right? And then he's like, so we right here, like, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was so confused. I had never heard of a ghostwriter, nothing. That was even so unheard of to me. I was like,
2 years later, in May 1998, she was in trouble again. This time, she was accused of throwing a statue through a man's front window in the Bronx and threatening him. While serious, those incidents were still not the moment that truly raised concern. That moment came on February 2nd, 2003. By then, Remy was living in a building on Randall Avenue. A young girl claimed that the building's maintenance supervisor, Alvin Lewis, had slapped her. Instead of contacting police or allowing adults to investigate, the girl went to her aunt, Remy. Remy reacted emotionally and went straight into street mode. She confronted the 36-year-old man and pulled out a firearm. Lewis later testified that Remy pointed the weapon at his head and pulled the trigger. He said he truly believed he was about to die. The gun clicked but did not fire. Lewis later said, "Trust, if it was real, I wouldn't be here." Remy later pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault and received a conditional discharge. At the same time she was stacking arrests, she was building a reputation as one of the most feared lyricists in the Bronx. Her buzz grew loud enough to reach a local legend, Christopher Rios, better known as Big Pun. Big Pun lived just around the corner from Remy's mother. Word spread about a young woman who could wrap circles around most people. Pun was curious. Remy stayed cautious. She did not believe the person who approached her was actually connected to Big Pun. She made him wait while she went upstairs and brought her mother along, just in case. When they finally arrived at Pun's house, it felt like a scene from a movie. Luxury cars outside, expensive furniture, dogs roaming the yard. Inside, sitting on a mattress in his boxers, was Big Pun himself. He told Remy to rap. Most people would have frozen. Remy did not hesitate. She went in for 3 to 4 minutes straight, aggressive, focused, and fearless. Pun stopped her and said, "That could be your only hot verse. Let me hear another." Then he asked who wrote her rhymes, checking if she had a ghostwriter. Not long after, Remy was riding with Big Pun and Fat Joe to a Jennifer Lopez video shoot. Her life shifted fast. She took the name Remy Martin and started appearing on Big Pun's album Yeah Baby. That momentum came to a sudden stop in 2000 when Big Pun died from a heart attack. Fat Joe stepped in, signing Remy to Terror Squad and pushing her to the forefront. Everything clicked in 2004. Terror Squad released Lean Back. It was more than a hit. The song went #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, something rarely seen for a female rapper at that time. Remy's verse stood out. Grammy nominations followed. BET Awards came next. People started calling her the BX Savior. And for a moment, it felt real. But the industry is cold. When Remy Ma finally dropped her debut solo album, There's Something About Remy, based on a true story in 2006, it did not hit the way she expected. The album sold only around 37,000 copies in its first week. For an artist coming off massive success with Terror Squad, that number felt like a slap. Remy was furious. She believed Universal Records barely put real effort into promoting the project. She felt like the label had already moved on. She also felt Fat Joe was not pushing hard enough for her behind the scenes. The frustration cut deep. By 2007, Remy Ma was independent, but she was also isolated, bitter toward the industry, stressed about her career, carrying years of trauma, anger, and survival instincts that never fully shut off. The angry young woman, a judge would later describe, was no longer buried. She was front and center as she had money, a $70,000 Cadillac Escalade, a crew that stayed around her. But she also had a short fuse and a long history of letting situations turn violent when things went wrong.
Was disappointed with the label's support of her debut solo effort, There's Something About Remy. She also publicly criticized Terror Squad leader Fat Joe for failing to support her debut.
Yes, I'm definitely switching labels. We working on signing those release papers as we speak. So I will be definitely switching labels. I don't know where I'm going yet, but it's gonna be with somebody that got the same drive like me, that want to win like me.
On the night of July 13th, 2007, everything collided. One moment in Manhattan's meatpacking district changed her life and cost her the freedom she fought so hard to reach. It was around 3:30 in the morning on July 14th, 2007. The location was Pizza Bar, tucked inside Manhattan's flashy meatpacking district. Outside the club, Remy Ma was with her crew, including a 23-year-old woman named Makita Barnes. Makita Barnes was not a random fan. She was close to Remy, close enough to babysit Remy's son, close enough that Remy trusted her with a purse containing roughly $3,000 in cash while they partied. At some point, Remy asked for the bag back. When she looked inside, the money was gone. Makita said she did not take it. What happened next escalated fast into a life-or-death situation. Remy walked away from the club and went to her Cadillac Escalade. She retrieved a .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun loaded with hollow point bullets, ammunition designed to expand on impact and cause severe internal damage. She walked straight to Makita's Nissan Maxima, opened the passenger door, and got inside. She demanded her money. Makita denied taking it. A struggle followed. According to court testimony, Remy pulled the trigger twice, firing directly into Makita's abdomen. One bullet tore through Makita's colon. She was bleeding heavily, barely able to move, slumped in the driver's seat, and fighting to stay alive. This is where the situation turned especially cold. Remy did not call 911. Instead, she grabbed the purse and dumped its contents onto Makita's lap. Blood, makeup, and personal items spilled everywhere as Remy searched desperately for the missing cash while her friend bled inches away. Remy exited the car, left her Escalade behind, flagged down a taxi, and disappeared into the night. Makita Barnes was left slumped in the driver's seat, shot and fading over $3,000. Makita survived, but just barely. The state of New York was not willing to let the case slide. The 2008 trial was ugly, public, and non-stop media coverage. Remy's defense team, led by high-profile attorney Ivan Fisher, tried to soften the narrative. They framed the shooting as a terrible accident. According to the defense, Remy and Makita were struggling over the bag, their hands hit the rearview mirror, and the gun accidentally fired. The prosecution rejected that version completely. Assistant District Attorney Michael McIntosh broke it down step by step for the jury. You do not accidentally load a gun with hollow point bullets. You do not accidentally walk to your vehicle, retrieve a firearm, and return to confront someone. The jury deliberated and returned their verdict: guilty. First-degree assault, criminal possession of a weapon, attempted coercion. She was cleared of witness tampering charges related to an alleged attack on a witness's boyfriend, but it made little difference, and she was facing up to 25 years. Sentencing day, May 13, 2008, was heavy with tension. State Supreme Court Justice Rena Uveler did not see a chart-topping rapper standing before her. She said she saw an extremely angry young woman whose anger is completely out of control. The judge focused on the most disturbing part of the case. Not just the shooting, but the moment afterward. The fact that Remy searched through the purse of a woman she had just shot. That lack of humanity sealed the decision. Remy Ma was sentenced to 8 years in state prison. Before she was sent upstate, things became even messier. Remy and her fiancé, Brooklyn rapper Papoose, planned to get married at Rikers Island just days before sentencing. The wedding never happened. When Papoose arrived at Rikers for the ceremony, correction officers flagged something on his keychain. During security screening, officers found a skeleton key, a handcuff key capable of opening standard restraints. That was enough to shut everything down. The administration accused Papoose of attempting to smuggle contraband that could be used in an escape. He was banned from visiting Rikers for 6 months. Papoose claimed it was simply a key for his basement, but officials were not convinced. Remy was later transferred to Bedford Hills Correctional Facility for Women in Westchester County, where she served nearly 6 years.
I believe it firmly that she's innocent.
Are you happy with today?
I'm innocent. You can always say that.
Reminisce Smith stopped being a celebrity. Prison humbled her. In later interviews, she described it as the great equalizer. Fame meant nothing when someone else decided when you eat, when you shower, and when you sleep. But Remy did not fold. While incarcerated, she focused on structure and discipline. She became valedictorian of her GED class and even wrote a sociological paper titled Situational Home, breaking down relationships between women behind bars and how prison dynamics reshape identity. Hip-hop kept moving. By 2008, the sound was shifting. By 2010, female rap was wide open again and a new star had taken over, Nicki Minaj. The entire Young Money era came and went without Remy ever stepping inside a recording booth. She missed the rise of social media, missed Instagram, missed the entire early 2000s cultural wave. Remy once talked about hearing that Beyoncé dropped a surprise album while she was locked up. She had to wait days for someone to record it onto a custom cassette just so she could hear what the world already knew by heart. Remy served 6 years of her 8-year sentence. Even her release did not come smoothly. She was originally scheduled to be freed in July 2014, but a disciplinary issue involving a third-party phone call delayed her release. Finally, on August 1st, 2014, the gates opened. Papoose was waiting in a white luxury car. Remy Ma walked out at 34 years old with no driver's license, no recent hits, and a reputation that made record executives nervous. But she was not discouraged. She knew she still had unfinished business, and she already had a target in mind. She did not waste time. After her release, Remy went straight back to the studio, hungry to prove her pen still mattered. But the smartest move she made was not just about music. It was about perception. In 2015, Remy and Papoose joined the cast of VH1's Love and Hip Hop New York. On paper, it looked risky. Reality TV has a history of turning respected rappers into punchlines. For Remy, it was strategic. The show reintroduced her as a human being, not just a headline. Viewers saw her marriage, her vulnerability, and the emotional weight of rebuilding life after incarceration. They saw her struggles with fertility and the quiet frustration of starting over. The angry young woman the judge once described was still there, but she had softened. She was grounded by love. Remy and Papoose became a symbol of resilience and loyalty in an industry built on breakups and betrayal. Then came the record that changed everything. After years of tension, Remy and Fat Joe finally settled their issues. The reunion produced All the Way Up, released in March 2016. The song dominated. It became the soundtrack of the summer, went double platinum, and earned 2 Grammy nominations. The message was clear. Remy Ma was not a comeback story. She was a contender again. Very few rappers, especially women, have topped the charts, gone to prison, and returned to do it all over again. Remy pulled it off. She was not just back in the game, she was looking at the throne. But hip-hop rarely allows more than one queen at a time. By 2017, that crown belonged to Nicki Minaj. The tension between Remy and Nicki had been simmering since the mid-2000s. On February 25th, 2017, the quiet shots stopped. Remy dropped Shether, using the instrumental from Nas's legendary Ether. For over 7 minutes, Remy delivered relentless lyrical attacks. She accused Nicki of using ghostwriters, signing exploitative contracts, and relying on industry relationships to advance her career. She mocked Nicki's image and pulled her past relationships into the spotlight. Then, she crossed the darkest line of the battle by calling out Nicki for publicly supporting her brother during his legal case involving serious criminal charges. The internet exploded. For a moment, hip-hop felt like old New York again, where bars mattered more than numbers and lyrical disrespect carried real weight. Nicki responded with no frauds, focusing on success and chart positions, but the culture was not convinced. The general consensus was clear. Remy won. She took a victory lap at Summer Jam 2017, performing while images of Nicki flashed behind her. She was joined on stage by Queen Latifah, Lil Kim, and Cardi B. But just when it seemed like Remy had outrun her past, old patterns resurfaced. In May 2019, Remy was arrested again. This time, Love and Hip Hop cast member Brittany Taylor accused her of punching her backstage at a benefit concert at Irving Plaza. Taylor posted photos showing an injured eye and claimed the altercation stemmed from a disagreement involving family matters. Police charged Remy with misdemeanor assault. The stakes were high. Remy was still on parole, and a violation could have sent her back to prison. Remy denied the allegations. Her attorney stated she was home with her newborn at the time. As the case dragged on, witnesses stopped cooperating, and the charges were eventually dropped. The next blow did not come from the courts. It came from home. By the early 2000s, the public image of Remy and Papoose began to crack. In 2023, rumors surfaced that Remy was involved with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain. Papoose responded publicly, and the internet watched as one of hip-hop's most admired marriages unraveled in real time. Papoose was later linked to boxing champion Claressa Shields, turning private pain into public spectacle. Then came the darkest chapter yet. In June 2024, Remy's adult son, Jason Jace Scott, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutors allege that in 2021, he and another individual were involved in a daylight killing of Darius Gibo in Queens. Gibo had previously been named in a large federal drug investigation known as Operation Heatwave. Law enforcement sources suggested the killing may have been targeted. The tension boiled over in June 2025 outside Queens Criminal Court. Remy was attending a hearing related to her son's case when she crossed paths with a member of the victim's family. A confrontation followed, and Remy was briefly detained and handcuffed. Remy Ma's life reads like a film script. She survived the crack era. She survived prison. She survived hip-hop.